What's something you remember about your dad?
I'm thinking.
Take your time.
We we used to go to the park. My mom, my dad, and me. We would stay there for so long. It must have been exhausted those days.
And yet, they took you.
There was a creek. It wasn't deep, but I would try to catch minnows and chase them while they swam away. Do you know it? There was that tiny bridge with nothing on the sides.
Yeah, and the support beams were so rusted and yet still standing somehow.
I can't believe they let me go there. What else? I would try to make friends at the playground. So often I'd meet a girl for a few hours and then go our separate ways and I'd never see her again. Isn't that weird?
What part?
How you can meet someone and make a connection for however long, even just a few hours. And then when they leave,
They fade from your mind. And you wonder how someone you once knew now exists completely outside your life.
Sarah. Sarah, she's one I remember. She was blonde, I think. We chased the same butterfly in the field next to the playground. I told her that my dad would help us catch it because he's the best in the world, and I was thinking of a couple weeks earlier when we'd caught one and I brought it home.
Yeah. How long will that last?
I was a kid. I didn't realize you were supposed to feed it, so 2 days? So I told Sarah that, and I probably said something like, "Stay here, don't let it fly away." And I ran over to where my parents had put out a blanket for a picnic, and my dad was already asleep. We hadn't even been there an hour, and I didn't want to wake him up, so I went back to Sarah, and, well, she said the butterfly had flown away. I probably asked her why she didn't stop it. My dad woke up later, and I still didn't understand why he'd been sleeping.
Gotten older, right? We've learned so much than we ever thought was possible. It's so hard for kids to understand. Parents need to know that it's hard for kids to understand.
My dad's dead, Crash. What I understand is that whatever I wanted to explain to him, he'll never hear it. And you can go on trying to make sense of it, but all I know is that I just feel pretty fucking stupid about everything. I can't believe how much I dreamed about high school. Weren't we so excited for it?
Not so great once we got there, was it?
Yeah, just a shithole. What could we even like about it? Was I just stupid for believing the stories I'd heard about it? Because I really thought these would be the days.
We only think about the good days gone by because good memories stick. Everything else for our parents and us now won't. We take with us what we want, so it's not as good as what we remember. Sometimes it's to hide everlasting pain.
Everlasting pain. Then how am I gonna turn out? God, after my dad and that asshole!
Um, Tell me,
Thanks for being there today, Crash. I've seen you around at school and in town. It seems like you're spending less time on.
wrong side of the tracks? It's okay, we can say it.
But how long has it been since we actually talked?
Are you worried I become like Sarah? Just a distant
No,
memory?
don't say that. I don't mean that.
I get it. I didn't cross your mind much. Maybe not at all. Makes sense we had different paths.
And I messed it up. My path, my life. If I had just seen through Bob, maybe.
Tell me, what happened?
We really haven't caught up, have we?
No better time than now.
It was cool, wasn't it? To have a boyfriend who was already out of school. His car, his friends, his job, for God's sake. I thought there would never be another like him. So stupid. I thought my life had never been better and could never get better. He didn't care. I told him my grades had started slipping and he didn't care. I was worried and I was fighting with my parents and he didn't care. And my dad. I saw him that night and he seemed annoyed I was even approaching him. The way he spoke to me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wanted comfort. And I got answers to questions I didn't even ask.
Like what?
Like, did you ever even care? Or was I just temporary? Or did you feel bad when you fucked my best friend?
God, did you know before that?
What do you think? I couldn't get it out of my head the way he spoke to me. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard from him, but somehow more real than he'd ever been to me. For once, I saw him for who he truly was, telling me to shut up about my dead dad and my best friend and failing classes. God, was I just that boring? He never cared and he just couldn't keep his hands off her? Just fucks my best friend and strings me along. It would just all go to prove that he would hate me even more.
He never cared?
How can I be sure? Maybe he cared. Maybe there was one point when it was real. Or maybe he never even cared at all. I feel like I'm in a fight with my own head. Crash. Why can't it be easier?
We always wish it were easy, but sometimes it's just not. Sometimes it just hurts real bad. Maybe it's just a dream that ends scary. Like those kinds of dreams you remember all morning after you wake up.
Everlasting pain. What's that?
I don't know. Something I heard on the radio a few times. Today, actually. I wish I could remember it better. I like the part at the beginning. Have you given up?
I don't know.
If I can help.
I doubt it.
I want to.
You've been trying to save me forever, Crash.
Let me try again.
You should have given up.
Don't say that. I haven't given up on you, but I remember I almost did.
Tell me more.
Did I ever tell you why I changed so much a few years back? What was his name? Rodney, freshman year.
Oh, the memories.
You and I were friends until then. But maybe we phased in and out, I don't know. Still, I was the kid from the wrong side of the tracks. But the way my brothers dressed and acted, I never saw myself fitting in. It was you who I fit in with since first grade. And as middle school went on, I noticed we were drifting apart, and that happens all the time, but when I saw you and him together, I felt like I lost you.
People change, Crash. Not always for the better. We both did.
Let me finish. I decided that it was time for me to become what everyone else thought I would be. So I finally put on my dad's jacket, and I felt like I was actually a part of it. I did change, but for all that time, I never stopped thinking about you. Wondering if you were thinking about me.
You said it yourself. People drift apart. Sometimes it's like we're not even from the same world.
Now, I know they care about me. They do. But I know they don't need me. I could disappear and nothing would change. Don't even know what they'd look.
Is that because of your past crimes of befriending a girl from the north side of town?
Not quite. I'm never the most important person in the room. I don't feel attached to any of them or anyone. Except you. I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about it? Ever since I got that thing, all I've managed to do is scratch the side when I was drunk. Nothing worthwhile. For the longest time, I wondered what's really beyond here. Do you need anything else in this town? Think of what you lost, what you can move on from. Your chance is here. Your chance is right here on that curb.
Gosh, be real. We wouldn't make it an hour past Emerson. We're too different, and it shows. I've lost my lifelong friend.
You didn't. And you didn't seem to mind us being different at one point. Junior high, was it?
Summer before freshman year. At the drive-in, yeah. You bet I can remember.
What was that movie called? And what was it that I said to you?
Crash, you sturdy boy. I don't care what anyone else says. I love you more than the stars in the sky. Couldn't have phrased it any better.
Shut up. Okay, you know what I meant. Besides, I've never claimed to have a way with words. It's always been your job.
No way held it against you, and hell, you also forgot the name of the movie. American Graffiti.
That's it.
I heard the director has another movie coming out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, about aliens and robots.
Look any good?
Different, for sure.
Think it'll play at the drive-in?
I heard it's closing down.
I should have realized, shouldn't I? I mean, the way he was always looking over his shoulder at prom, for God's sake. If I had just paid attention, maybe I would have known.
Shut up.
What?
If you're going where you think you're going with this, stop it, will you?
I'm not going anywhere. Not anymore. I think you should leave. I don't mean to sound rude. I mean, get out while you can. There's nothing left for me here anyway.
Here. That shit, stop it.
Jesus Christ, can't I say anything without you freaking out?
I've tried, Em. Ever since I've worn this goddamn jacket, I never stopped caring. So I can't see you talking this way about yourself, because I know you.
So this whole time, you've just been a hopeless romantic? These are kid games, Crash.
Emma, Bob, Lori, your dad, you don't deserve what's happening to you.
Why not? My dad was happy before I went down that road with Bob. My mom was too. She was the most perfect housewife in the neighborhood. A gentle, caring mother who could never be angry at anyone. Now she can't even look at me without seeing who I used to be. I had my whole life planned out. I was going to go to college and become the greatest actress this town ever remembered. If that didn't work out, then I could just find a husband and settle down and I'd have done my job. And then I'd be the one remembering that every fucking drunk housewife in this town has dead dreams locked away somewhere. I thought I knew love. And of course, I learned from past mistakes. After so long, I thought that he and I were it together. Of course, I somehow missed the perfect man standing right in front of me. God, how do you even recognize me?
What are you saying? I'm not your perfect man.
If I hadn't been with Bob that night, then maybe my dad wouldn't have gotten into the car.
Don't say that. It wasn't you.
It was! You said it yourself. You've been waiting for my sake for 10 years. To try to keep me from the places I shouldn't be, and look at me. I'm in the place I shouldn't be. It's my fault you came back.
And I'm never leaving you now. Not after what I promised.
What are you talking about?
It's not your fault. Your dad called me that night. He told me about the fight, how you stormed off, went God knows where with Bob. He tried to call Lori, she didn't know. And he guess he didn't catch up with you because I was the only other friend that he could trust. Your dad knew that things were going downhill. He just wanted you to know that it wasn't your fault. He talked about your acting and how he was so excited for you to chase something that you loved. Yeah. He even remembers that day in the park way back when. He didn't want all those memories to fade. He told me, no more tears for me. It's not too late.
That sounds like a sure way for the memories to fade.
So you want to stay? In a place that killed you? You didn't hear what your dad said. I did. This place, it's only going to bring you more pain. And what did your dad say?
No more tears.
No more tears.
Do you have a plan?
You know I don't go far with the plan. But it doesn't matter unless you get in that car and tell me to drive. You can take memories anywhere. But if you stay, what's the best that could happen? I don't need this town any more than you do. But I'm not getting in that car unless you come with me.
Before prom and everything, Mom and I would sometimes lie on the grass at the top of the hill by the school. Sometimes he'd whisper to me that he would give me all the stars in the sky or something stupid like that. But it reminded me of what I said to you all those years ago. Like it or not, we fit the picture. Days in the classroom, nights at the drive-in, that's what this town gave us, this painting. It's all this town could ever give us. How can life get better if this is all we see?
What if we did this? What if we took a leap of faith?
My dad, when he would talk about being our age, he said this thing, what was it? We had no plan for tomorrow, but we're always rushing to get there. I like that. I'd like to think of how life was when he was our age. I'd like to think it was different. But the truth is, whenever I see pictures of my dad in school, he looks exactly like me. You have no idea how many folks let me know it. I used to like that. Like I was a part of the respect my dad had around town. Or at least his part. I wonder if anything's changed at all. The stories he'll tell will be the same ones that we'll tell years from now. But it's just so small. We have our whole lives to look back on here in this town. How's that worked out for us so far? I think my plan is that I don't have a plan. All I want to do is escape. We can get ahead. We can let go of everything that's been holding us back and find out what's really on the other side of Emerson Avenue. I want to find that out with you.
No plan. Running away? Is that what I've become?
It's interesting what you say about us. And you're right. We are an American story told time and time again. Now we're just filling it in. Almost. I want to break it, or change it, at least. What can we be for each other? I don't think we can know unless we leave. I want to help you because your dad trusted me. Because you trust me. This is the only way I know how. Maybe it's not the smartest or the best, but maybe it can be enough for us.
So we're running away as fast as we can. No idea where we're going. Think we can make it to tomorrow? I want to go there with you.